Welcome to the first day of today's masterclass. Reduce your child's screen time without nagging, threatening, or taking away the devices. This masterclass will have 3 series of videos. The first masterclass is how to get our children to use screen or internet responsibly. And it is actually on 10th of October 2023, and which is on Tuesday. We have the masterclass number 2, which is the 3 steps formula to reduce your child's screen time without nagging, threatening, or taking away the devices. It is actually happening on 12th October 2023, Thursday. And our masterclass number 3 is how to get your child to get off the screens automatically on their own without the need to police them. It is happening on October 14, 2023, Saturday. On the first masterclass, these are the things that you're going to learn. You will discover the mistakes that parents make when it comes to their children's screen time. What can we do with our children and their screen time? Why are you probably struggling with your child's screen time? And what else can you do when your child is addicted to the screens or internet and limited screen time is not working? In the masterclass number 2, you will actually discover the 3-step formula to reduce your child's screen time without nagging, threatening, or taking away the devices. How does a good screen habit look like? How to empower your child to use the screen, internet responsibly and stay safe online. How to respond to your child and guide them back to the family. In the masterclass number 3, you will actually discover how to use agreement to get your child to agree and stick to what they agree about their screen time. Use our diagnostic tool if you find your child constantly breaking his promise or words and not sticking to his agreed screen time. How to set healthy boundaries with technological device or apps as a family so everyone in the family's units are using their devices responsibly and safely. You will also discover that how billion-dollar tech industries gamble with your child and their screen time. The screen and internet is so addictive. How can we create the interest enough to get off the screens or internet? And how can we set balanced life between our online and physical world? And so much more. Mark these dates into your calendar. 10 October, 12 October, and 14 October. So go and grab your calendar and mark these on your calendar so you don't miss all these masterclass. Please join our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is actually at facebook.com/groups/reduce your child screen time. And you can also scan the QR code to join the Facebook group. Here are the benefits of joining the Facebook group. When you join the Facebook group, you can actually download the worksheet which is located inside the Facebook group and do your homework. You can post your homework so you can actually do the work together with a group of parents who are committed to reducing their child's screen time. I can also review your homework. Here is another benefit of joining our Facebook group. You can actually post your questions in the Facebook group so I can answer and clear any doubts that you have. Now, head to our Facebook group, scan the QR code, and now join the Facebook group so you can actually download the workbook and do the homework. Do it now. Congratulations for taking your time to commit for this masterclass. I'm so excited to have you join me in this free masterclass. As a mother of 4, also an entrepreneur and a coach, I don't take your time lightly. I know most of us as a parents are so busy and have thousands of things on our plates. Wasting time is the last thing we want to do. But you are still here. Register for the masterclass and committed yourself. Why? Because you are on a mission. Most of you have challenges with your child's screen time, and some of you may even have challenges with your child's addiction to the internet, social media, gaming, or basically tech devices. You are on a mission to help your children from being addicted to the screen or internet to gaining back their childhood. Even if your child have limited screen time, you realize that you have to be there to police your child's screen time. I guess you are here because it is tiring. Secondly, it's not a long-term solution because you can't be there all the time and your child is also growing older. It is going to be tough to control their screen time or their stuff when they are older. You want to figure out how to guide your children to self-regulate their own screen time. You are worried about their screen time. Some of you may not have many issues with their screen time, but still, you are worried. You notice there are so many children who are addicted to the screens or internet or their gadgets. You are worried that your children become one of them. You wanted to prevent screen addictions. Technologies are going to stay. You need to figure out how to live with it. Because if, let's say, you think technology is not going to stay, the solution is so simple. Just remove the screens or internet or the gadgets from your children. Period. Problem solved. You also wanted to have a better and healthier relationship with your children. You do not want or let the screens to ruin or damage the relationship you have with your children. If this sounds like you, then you are in the right masterclass. I wanted to ask for permission for me to show up as a coach, a mentor, and a friend to show you the way to reduce your child's screen time. If you permit me to be your coach, your mentor, and a friend, type hashtag permission in the comment and on the Facebook group. Because as a coach and a mentor, I need you to give you a straight talk, to give you the truth. I wanted you guys to succeed and win in this battle with the screen, internet, and technological devices. Do you remember when it was the first iPhone came? If you remember the year, type the year in the comment below. It was the year of 2007 when Steve Jobs announced the first iPhone with access to 3G. This is when the smartphone revelations began. 16 years has passed, and in the year of 2023, we have many other smartphones and tablets, and it is getting cheaper and affordable to own one. We are the first few fetch parents who need to deal with the screen time. Here's the thing. The older generations of parents don't have this screen problem when raising their children. You ask your family members, your parents, and your relatives, but no one can help you. Not only that, sometimes they give you a look that it seems that you are not a capable parent. Therefore, I'm here to support you. I will use the screens, internet, tech devices, electronics interchangeably. And let's go through this together. In short, this masterclass is for you if you want to overcome your child's internet, social media, gaming, or even YouTube addiction. You want to reduce your child's screen time. You want a happier and healthier relationship with your child. You want to empower them to use the screens, internet, responsibly and safely. Technologies are going to stay, and we need to figure out how to live with them and use them wisely. This is not for you if If you expect to come and listen and do some fast trick and it will reduce your child's screen time and even get them to self-regulate their screen time, perhaps this is not the right masterclass for you. If you are expecting to learn to install some parental control software and limit your child's screen time, this masterclass is also not for you. If you are expecting some magic pills or magic scripts that make your children magically change and listen to you, and you're not willing to do some changes, then this is also not for you. If you're looking for a shortcut to solve the problem and do not want to learn how to parent your child with these technologies, then this is also not for you. I just want to set my expectations right before I continue, as I do not want to waste your time. Why are you here? What are the challenges you face with your child's screen time? Type the challenges you have in the Facebook comment. Here are some of the reasons why you are here. Are you worried about your child's addictions to the screens, internet, social media, or gaming? On average, how many hours does your child spend on the screens? Type in the comment on the hours your child spent on the screens. According to a survey, 8 to 12 years old, they actually spend 4 hours and 44 minutes per day. And for 13 to 18 years old, they're actually spending 7 hours and 22 minutes. And all this screen time does not include the schoolwork and the homework. Wow, this is really a lot of time. It means that they are on the screens all their time, excluding the sleep. Do you know what they are doing online? How many times did your child go to his bedroom or somewhere, close the door and spend time on their smartphone, tablets or laptops, but you have no idea what they are doing? But deep in your heart, you know, confirm not schoolwork. What are they watching? Is it porn or age appropriate for them? What are they doing? Gaming and addicted to it? Who are they chatting with? Friends? Or is it the real friends or some friends they got to know online? I spent more than 14 years working as a cybersecurity specialist to help organizations protect their information and systems from internal or external threats, or basically hackers. Because of my background, I was worried about the internet dangers. Here are some of the internet dangers I've listed there for our children. Basically, we are looking at screen addictions, cyberbullying, online predators, inappropriate content, social media depression, misuse of children's PII. PII stands for personally identifiable information, negative social influence, bad digital footprint, and misinformation. We're not going to go through each of it one by one because this is about the reduce your child's screen time. We routinely help our client to solve these problems. Your child is glued to the tech devices and spend long hours on their tech devices. Basically, your child are glued to their tech devices and spending long hours on their smartphones, tablets, computers, gaming, watching YouTube and social media, and chatting with their friends that they forgot about their homework, chores, eating, and sleeping. Your child refuses to listen to you and follow your instructions, no matter how many times you have a talk and try to convince them. It is as if your child has been possessed by these devices. You do not know how to parent your child with these technologies. Back then, when you were growing up, your parents don't have these problems. You have no idea how to do this, as you don't have anyone to refer to. You felt helpless, frustrated, and angry when it comes to your children and their tech devices. You hate this technology so much, but you can't take them away because it is part of your children's life, and school are also moving to technology-based learning. You just can't figure out how to fix your children's addiction. How many of you have tried to take away the devices? What happened? Type in the comment, #takeaway, if you have experienced this. After speaking to more than 40 to 50 parents, I see a common thing. If they are addicted to these devices, the child start to behave like a drug addict, lost himself and wanted to snatch the devices, displaying symptoms of addictions. Even if they don't fight to get the electronic device, they get angry and unpleasant to deal with. Do you feel that there's a disconnect between you and your child, especially when it comes to the internet or screens? We are the first generation of parents who need to parent our children with these digital devices. Our parents don't have this problem. However, using the same parenting style does not seem to work anymore, especially in this digital era. I guess some of you are not familiar with these digital devices, and some of you are not techy to handle this. How many of you felt helpless about your child's internet addiction? You have tried everything, nag them, threaten them, or even take away the devices. Many times when you do that, your children will be angry and unpleasant to deal with. Sometimes they even fight to snatch back the tech devices. Because of their addiction, their schoolwork and homework are left abandoned. They are having bad grades at school and not able to pay attention. Some children even sacrifice their sleep to stay connected with their friends on social media or gaming. Have you ever come to a situation where you have a good day? Perhaps you managed to get a new client or you have a job promotion. You reach home and you wanted to share the good moments with your children. When you open the door, your children are not there. You check them out. They are in their bedroom looking at their electronic devices. At the dinner table, it was a silent dinner as everyone was busy looking at their smartphone. You wanted to talk to your children, but you were not sure how to connect with them. Type #helpless in the comment if this is you. How many of you have been trying to limit and control your child's screen time and yet it does not give you the desired results? Type #fail in the comment if this is you. Which stage are your children in? My child is addicted to the screens or internet. If this is you, if this is your child, type #addicted. My child's screen time is limited, but I have to be there to police the screen time. That if this is you, type #police screen time. My child doesn't have much screen time, but I want to prevent screen addiction. If this is you, type #prevent screen addiction. So whichever the stage your child in, please type in the comment. And you can actually write in your workbook as well. So go to the Facebook group, download the workbook so you can start doing exercise as we continue. How many of you have concerns about your child's screen time and its effect on their health and development stages? How many of you have heard about the bad side of screen time? The internet is bad, evil, or even addictive. Too much of screen time can lead to obesity, sleep problems, chronic neck or back problems, depression, anxiety, and lower test scores in children. They will get more stupid when they consume too much of screens. Screen addictions will also cause our children to lose their childhood. Imagine a child just staying at home or walking around consumed by the screens. If you have heard about it, type #evil in the comment. You have tried to control their screen time. The more you try to control their screen time, it seems they want their screen time more. You have to be there to police their screen time. Whenever it comes to the screen time, the tension is always there. It seems that you don't feel connected to your children. Some of you have already tasted the damage of screen time. Your children lost interest in their studies or even their physical activities other than the screens or internet or their gadgets. They do not want to be anywhere else. So, what can we do with our children and the screens? I discovered there are 3 ways when parents use when dealing with their child's screen time. Option number 1, screen-free parenting. In this setup, parents will try to reduce or eliminate screens in the family. Parents, they will also reduce their own screen time. More activities, outdoor, indoor, are planned together. However, when COVID came, it was hard as everyone was confined at home. At the time, school has adopted to online learning. Now, some schools are moving to hybrid with some online learning and physical classrooms. In my opinion, screen-free parenting does not prepare the child to use technological device wisely and responsibly. When a child becomes a teenager, he or she becomes obsessed and addicted to them. Option number 2, controlling and limiting screen time. In this setup, parents will limit and control their child's screen time. It works when your child is young. When the children becomes teenagers, they wanted more freedom and also discover their own identity. Personally, controlling screen time does not allow for a safe space for communication and trust. With so much happening online, we also need to know what is happening in the online world. Many children do not tell their parents what's happening as they are afraid their devices will be taken away. Some children even lie about their screen time. Here's the third options. Nurture good screen habits. In this setup, the parents will guide and empower their children to self-regulate their screen time. The parents will also help the children to set healthy boundaries with the screens and nurture good screen habits. There is a trust and safe space for communications so that the children can come to their parents for anything they encounter online. The children also know how to keep themselves safe online. We cannot be there all the time. Therefore, we need to teach them to stay safe. So, which options do you prefer? Option number 1, screen-free parenting. Option number 2, limiting and controlling screen time. Or option number 3, nurturing good screen habits. Comment below and write in your workbook. Here are some of the, let's go through one of the parents' posts about their child's screen time. So here's the story. My 14-year-old stepdaughter is not allowed to have Instagram. It is blocked from her phone. Found out that she has an account she uses from friend's phone. Have TikTok, but rules her page has to stay on private. Teenagers are sneaky. Changes her TikTok back to public. Whenever the fathers find out, tell her to change it back. She make up some excuses or lie. The summary of the story is the 14-year-old daughter is not allowed to have Instagram. The dad actually found out that she has an account she uses from her friend's phone. She was allowed to have TikTok but private profile. When the father is not aware, she will change it to public account. It's always constant lying, sticking, making excuses, and repeating the prohibited behavior. The father imposed rules, set boundaries, or even try to talk nicely instead of blowing up. Wow, sounds like a very difficult situation. Here's another Facebook post about a parents talking about their child screen time. 8-year-old is extremely addicted to the screens. We have to place firm limits as the more she has, the more she wants. Highly aggressive and angry when we say stop. When I say no, after physically wrestle the iPad off me. Screaming, getting more violent and angry at me. Here's the summary of the story. My wonderful, kind, and sweet 8-year-old daughter is very addicted. The more she had, the more she wanted the screen time. Whenever limit is placed, she becomes highly aggressive and angry. Whenever the devices were taken away, she would storm off with a temper, refuse to eat dinner, and talk. Wow, sounds like a difficult situation as well. What do you observe from these case studies? The parents are limiting their child's screen time. It is getting tougher and tougher when your children grow older or becoming teenagers. They become sneaky, trying to hide or lie about their stuff. And there's a lack of trust and safe space communication. It seems that the internet and screens are addictive, and the children has lost their interest in their real life, be it on their school, sports, hobbies, and playing outside. They are only interested in their screen, gadgets, or internet. Therefore, how can we get our children to appreciate other things other than the screens? Let's consider this. What is your favorite thing? The one thing you must have in a day. Please do this together with me. Please actually think of a thing, your favorite thing that you must have in a day. For myself, it is coffee. So let's do this exercise together. Now, imagine that you have a controlling spouse or partner. He or she limits your coffee consumption to half a cup in a day. If your favorite thing is something else, then you just imagine that your favorite thing consumption has been slashed to half or whatever it is. So, how do you feel when your partner actually impose some limit on your favorite thing? For me, I will feel pressure and dissatisfied. I wonder why I should be limited to such. It seems that he's trying to control me and not trusting me. How would you react? If you are a submissive spouse, you most probably trying to follow, but with dissatisfaction or anxiety. If you are more aggressive person, like me, you most probably will fight back. If you couldn't be bothered, you will not take his word and just ignore him. Sounds like your child, right? And that's why you are probably struggling when you try to limit and control your child's screen time. When we want to control or limit our child's screen time, we have to be there all the time to monitor and police them. Our relationship with our children becomes strained, and our children do not want to share their life with us so much. They become sticky, lie about their stuff, and do not want to tell you more about what is happening in their life. When you think the internet is bad or evil, all you want to do is to prevent. When you prevent, is actually basically you are going to go towards to screen-free parenting or control, where you actually will start limiting and controlling your child's screen time. If limiting and controlling screen time is not an option, what's next? Therefore, I present you the third option: nurture good screen habits. Basically, this is where you empower your children to self-regulate their screen time, use the screen or internet positively and responsibly, and staying safe online. Most of you are concerned that your child does not listen to you. When you empower them to use the screens or internet, they will want to listen to you and work collaboratively with you. Here are some of the case studies we have. How Hannah, not real name, a mother of an 8-year-old son, was able to stop her son's screen addictions from 12 hours to 2 hours a day and help her sons to gain back his childhood in just 2 months. Hannah, a mother of 8-year-old son. Hannah's 8-year-old son was a sweet, kind, and polite boy. He changed when he got his iPad. Before working with us, Hannah's 8-year-old son was addicted to his iPad. The moment he wakes up, he will go straight to his iPad and spend the entire day with it. After working with us, Hannah's son's internet or iPad use has changed from 12 hours to 2 hours per day after working with us for 2 months. In the past, her son will install about 25 games on his iPad and spending the entire day gaming and watching YouTube. He refused to allow Hannah access to his iPad. Hannah was not tech savvy and found it challenging to set parental control on his iPad. Through our help, Hannah was trained to be more tech savvy and was able to parental control his son's iPad. Through collaborative discussions, her sons agreed to only have 5 games on his iPad. In the past, Hannah has to yell, snatch, or even beg to take away the iPad from her son. Her son will cry and try to snatch back the iPad, displaying symptoms of addiction. After working with us, now he can enjoy his time playing with his brother and cousin and even spend time with his grandparents walking to a nearby park daily. Just like Hannah, if you want to stop your child's gaming addiction, if you want your child to have a happier childhood life, if you want to have a better relationship with your child, and able to reduce their screen time without having to yell, snatch, or beg, then let's look into the second case study. How Dinuka, a parenting coach, was able to turn around from not able to sleep without a smartphone to reducing her son's screen time from 6 hours to 2 hours a day in just 2 months. Here is Dinuka. Dinuka is also a parenting coach and a mother of 2 boys, aged 13 and 11. Dinuka's 13-year-old and 11-year-old used to play with blocks, puzzles, and a play-type environment. Her sons also love to read. It changed when they get their gadgets. Before working with us, Dinuka's son shows signs of addiction to his smartphone. Whenever the smartphone was taken away, he would claim he could not sleep without it. They spend about 5 to 6 hours a day gaming, TikToking, and watching YouTube. After working with us, screen use was reduced from 6 hours to 2 hours in just over 2 months. Now, her son knows how to manage their day and their basic responsibilities are fulfilled first before the screen time. In the past, the relationship between Dinuka and her 2 boys were tense, especially regarding the screen time issues. 2 months after she started working with us, the relationship has become calm, connected, and respected. In the past, Dinuka struggled to set boundaries on screens for her children. Rules were laid down 2 hours, but her sons failed to follow through. She was fearful about saying no and do not know how to help her child to set boundaries with the devices. Dinuka helps her son set boundaries with the screens or internet and have agreement on the gadget use. Her sons now can follow through with the agreement. In the past, Dinuka was parenting her children with screen time based on fear. She was fearful that the screen will consume her children and that they are not safe online. After working with us, Dinuka feels calm and has peace of mind knowing her sons using the screen responsibly and know how to stay safe online. Just like Dinuka, if you want to stop your child's smartphone addiction, if you want your child to have their priorities set well and fulfill them first, if you want to have a calm, connected, and respected relationship with your child, and able to reduce their screen time without fearing to say no. Let's continue. Why we do what we do. We are sharing this with you because I was once in your shoes. I used to shout and scream at my children too. I was trying to control and get them to do what I wanted. I was parenting my children based on how I was parented. However, all this changed in March 2019. One of my good friend, Lee, passed on. 3 years back, she was diagnosed with nose cancer and discovered an unfaithful event of her spouse. This led to divorce, and she took custody of her 2 sons. Despite hardship, Lee was able to bring her family together. When I attended Lee wake service in March 2019, it was the most beautiful funeral I've ever attended. Lee has moved on and moved on by forgiving her ex-husband despite the pain he brought her. When her eldest sons came and spoke in the wake service, I was amazed by this boy. He was trying to be courageous and make his mom proud. I remember the lines. My mom taught me about love, forgiveness, and courage. Wow, I'm not sure whether if you realize this or not. Lee has decided not to bring her marriage wound to her son. Love, forgiveness, and courage will allow her son to move on and live the present life. I was so inspired by Lee being a good mom. When I started to work on myself, I realized that the most important to me is the connection with my children. So how do I got started? I spent more than 14 years working as a cybersecurity expert, helping big corporations to defend their systems from cyber criminals. Because of my background and knowing these devices are addictive, my husband and I were trying to delay the technology use in our children. However, when the COVID came in March 2020 and we were in a lockdown for almost 2 years, I knew I could not delay anymore. That's where I started to look for a way that I can parenting my children using these devices responsibly while building a better connections with them. When my friend Lydia called me up in year 2020 and shared that she fights with her son to physically wrestle the smartphone due to her son's smartphone addiction, I realized that many parents are struggling with this. Therefore, I started digital parenting coaching, and it is my mission to help you nurture your children to use the screen or tech devices responsibly and stay safe online. We are doing this with you because I believe that every family deserves to be happy and every parents want to build a deeper relationship with their child. I believe that every parent should not fight with their kids over smartphones, gaming, social media, or gadgets. I believe that every child has the rights to learn to stay safe online, as the internet is not a safe place and it is not designed for our children. When I started to work on myself, I realized my parents' belief wasn't the best belief, and it does not mean it should be my beliefs. I realized that life is short and I need to think about what type of children I want to raise. When Lee passed on in March 2019, She was only 39 years old. I realized I may not be there forever for my children. I realized I need to raise independent, courageous, and conscious children. When I changed from behavior-based to connection-based, everything changed. I have a calm, connected, respected relationship with my children. My children are more open to listening and working collaboratively with me. My children become more independent, courageous, and conscious about their thoughts, emotions, and habits. I put everything I knew from mindfulness, conscious parenting, internet safety, and habits, and I closely studied them. And that's where I found the answer. Seeing how the method developed amazingly worked for my own family, I started helping more parents and having them experience the same or greater success I achieved. My clients are now happy and have peace of mind knowing their children can use the tech devices responsibly and stay safe online. They also have a better connections with their children. And that's the kind of life I want for you. Why not screen-free parenting? For me, I don't think the screen or internet is entirely evil. With moderation, there are some benefits of screen time to our children's educational value and school-related homework. Playing video games can also improve motor skills and coordinations. Internet, texting, shared video games are easy and fun ways to socialize and communicate. Further, if you want to do screen-free parenting, you have to limit your screen use too. You can't be asking your child to be screen-free, but you are constantly on the screen yourself, right? I find it hard as I'm a working mom and an entrepreneur. Also, screen-free parenting does not prepare the child for the technology used in the future. Further, the school has also adopted to e-learning and technologies. The technology is going to stay. We can only delay up to a certain age. So most schools have pivoted to e-learning. The homework is getting harder and harder, and by using internet, our children are able to research to complete their homework. They can also use the internet or gadgets to propel them further toward their passions and talent. When you think the internet is good and able to learn new skills, you will learn to nurture good screen habits. We need to adapt and learn new parenting skills, digital parenting. Adapt and learn about digital parenting so you can connect with your children and influence them. Nurture good screen habits so that your children can use the internet in a healthier way. Empower them to use the internet so that they can learn to stay safe online. When you do that, your children will use the internet or tech device responsibly and stay safe online. When you do that, you will have a deeper connection and bonding with your children and have a happier family life. Now, it is time to upgrade our thinking to nurture good screen habits. What are the old limiting beliefs you need to let go about the internet or the screens? Remember the workbook? So I have all these completed in the workbook. So please go and download your workbook so you can actually write all the homework in that workbook. What are the new empowering beliefs you need to install about nurturing good screen habits? So write it and do your homework in the workbook. Remember to snap the workbook and post in the Facebook group. And if you can go live and share what you have learned in this day one masterclass, it's great. And I can also help check, look through the videos and the homework, and perhaps I can actually give you some ideas some more. In the masterclass, I'm going to review the 3-step formula to reduce your child's screen time without nagging, trapping, or taking away the devices. How does a good screen habit looks like? How to empower your children to use the screen internet responsibly and stay safe online. how to respond to your child and guide them back to the family. Mark in your calendar, 12 October, Thursday. Comment below and let me know what are the key takeaways from day 1 of Reduce Screen Time Masterclass. I'll see you in the